Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Oh my God! That's exactly true. If you feel like a star, then drink like a star. Drink Gene Anderson sparkling wine of the stars, aka the what? The shampoo poo.
And then we've also got John Stewart of Legends in Concert.
Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning,
Chef Michael.
Hi, buddy. Thank you.
Good morning. And we have Leslie Rogers with the Public Relations Officer for the Salvation Army, one of our great friends.
Good morning, Sandy, Michael.
Hi, how are you?
Chef Poo down there.
Hey. Love you too. You look so wonderful.
And then, of course, we've got Tim here on the engineer board. Tim, what's your last name again? I'm always asking you your last name. Bowman. Why can't I remember your last name? Right. Is that because you've got a two-punch? What is your slogan that you have for boxing?
Black magic.
Black
magic. Hello, black magic has been a spell.
And you've got a fight coming up soon.
You're right in there early in the morning. You're great.
August 5th.
August 5th.
I'm betting on you, man. You look like you're in shape.
He is, and he's a middleweight.
I'll whoop him. I'll whoop him.
He told me Chef Michael is his sparring partner. He told me that.
Let me tell you something, John. Don't let the old man fool you. I still got heat under these hands.
And then on the camera, we have Rhett Nielsen. Hi, Rhett. How you doing?
Hey, Rhett. How are you, buddy?
Oh, look at that hand. There he is.
There he is.
And, of course, to my right, every single morning, Monday through Friday, here on KLAV and more, we have Chef Michael. Hi, Chef Michael.
Good morning. Good morning. The best to you. It's my cousins again outside. We don't let them in because they stink the whole joint up of garlic.
Oh, there's a line around the block here at KLAV, right here on West Sahara. And if you don't know where we are, it's that big coral building right there on the south side of the street, right across the street from Sammy's Wood-Fired Grill.
We went there yesterday.
That's right, and we had 3 pizzas, not one, not
good.
2, but we had 3 pizzas.
We got a sample.
Yes, it was great. And we're in negotiations right now with Sammy's to bring them in as a sponsor with us.
They're real excited. Yes, they are.
And they're right across the street, so we can steal them over here so they can get on the air. You know, it's nice to talk to everybody, you know, every morning. You know, I feel like Allison McKenzie. You know what I mean?
And, you know, Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show is here on KLAV Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. every single Monday through Friday. And our sponsors are Resort Stay International, George L. Stewart, Tony May, Royal Cleaners, Byron Mills, and Smith's Food King. And also we got a new sponsor yesterday, which is Tree for Life. And so we are so excited. We've got all our sponsors here with us, and we've got tickets here to give away. So if you call in right now at 702-731-1230, that's 702-731-1230. For the first 20 callers, we have free show tickets to, Michael, all kinds of shows.
We have. Are you ready for this, everybody?
Yeah.
We got Mark Savar. You know, I didn't bring my glasses, Johnny. Get in there,
we got David Sachs Productions. We use a lot of his shows.
Oh, yeah.
David's a good buddy of mine and also all of us here. And David Sachs Productions over at Planet Hollywood has some tremendous shows over there. And the ones that we're using here on our show right now is Country Superstars, Mark Chavard, the wildest, craziest hypnotist show you've ever seen in your life. Recycled Percussion over at the Quad. The V Show, that's not a complimentary ticket here, but it's an unbelievable show. You got to go see it when you can. In Vegas, the show, one show of the year several times. And also we have Rock Vault over at the LVH. Rick White set that up for us, and it's 14 of the top classic rock stars putting together a wild show over there. It's at 8 o'clock every night except Wednesday and Thursday. And so those are just a lot of great shows that we're giving to all you good people here.
And you know that rock show is not just for the kids, Johnny. I mean, we've got, all of us are out there watching.
Well, that's right. It's awesome.
I mean, because rock and roll goes way back, and we grew up with it, and we're still listening to it, and we're still enjoying it. So you got to go check out these shows and call in for your ticket, 702-731-1230. So, Chef Michael.
Yes, you know.
What?
I'm on good behavior today.
No. It's great. You know, Chef Michael always has a special recipe for us every single day. What is our special recipe today?
Well, before I tell about my special recipe, I was at Smith's last night because I'm in there all the time. We live across the street. You know, from Smith's, and I'm always there shopping, having a great time.
With Tom Stunick in the game.
I love Tom. We love you, Mike, the butcher out there. Walt, our buddy Walt, the manager he does all the check stands. I tell you one thing about Smith's, not because they're a sponsor with us, but I never seen people care as much as these people care. You know, and I shopped at a lot of other different places. You know, I came to Vegas in 1974 when they had Skaggs Alpha Beta. John, remember Skaggs Alpha Beta and Von Tobel's?
I do.
Boy, that was the old days. In '74, I used to fly down Maryland Parkway. It was only like 230,000 people at that particular time. Now it's 230 billion people in Las Vegas.
My father worked for Alpha Beta.
Oh.
He did.
He did, really?
Yeah, he was a general manager for Alpha Beta for many years.
Wow, that's incredible.
He
And
had
they
10 kids. He had to steal food to feed us.
Oh my God in heaven!
Well, my mom worked at Safeway
It was.
for a while, yeah.
I wish my dad had met your mom. We could be sisters and brothers.
And being a chef,
yeah.
the quality of their produce department is absolutely unsurpassed. I mean, their lettuce, their rapini, they have a wide variety of different vegetables from all nationalities, and their display is tremendous. Their meat department, and I'm telling you, I buy my fish there. They got the lobster, they have the shrimp, they got tilapia, they have orange roughy.
They have salmon, if you want to make poached salmon.
They have lox. Believe it or not, being Italian, I love lox and bagels. Right, Sam? We get up in the morning, and I love it. My hand swells up from the salt. But the bottom line is it's fantastic. Now, my recipe for today, and I always do this when I have a guest, instead of me coming up with something, right next to me is the beautiful young lady from the Salvation Army. Now, if you're in an Italian restaurant and you had to order something, what would you order?
I would probably order, I'm not a big pasta eater, believe it or not. I love Italian food, but I don't do a lot of pasta. I do a lot of eggplant, and I do love veal.
Veal.
Oh,
So pick your favorite veal dish, whether it's scallopini or a different kind of veal.
Well, the veal scallopini, you got veal marcella, and you got veal francese.
I love francese with
You like
lemon.
French? Yes.
Yes.
Now let me explain to you, all those people out there that are listening in, and once again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for letting the Sandy Kastel Show and friends. John, shut your damn phone off. That was his lawyer. Okay. Oh, is that John? All right. And I just lost train of thought. Senility is a terrible thing.
Veal scallop.
Yeah, thank you.
Veal francese. Oh, I love veal francese.
Veal francese. Now let me explain to you about veal francese. When you make a veal, everybody, it's just like shrimp. If you overcook the veal, and if somebody's phone's going off one more time, I want to punch him right in the nose. I'm only teasing. If you make your veal, you want to, you say a Hail Mary on one side and a Hail Mary on the other, and it's done. And I'm really being serious with you, because if you overcook the veal, it gets too tough. Once you got your veal, you saute it in butter, not in oil. I do it in butter. I saute the veal in butter, and then you make it, and from the drippings from the veal, then you add your beef stock, lemon, garlic, okay, parsley, a little bit of salt. Be careful, because with the beef stock, it's got a salt content to it. You can add white pepper or black pepper. I usually use the white, because the white blends, okay? It's really, really nice. And again, I use Wondra to tighten it up. And sherry wine.
Yes.
Not the cream sherry, everybody. Sherry wine. And then you pour that over your beautiful veal. Now you can make a veal picante. Now let's talk about a veal francese. It's the same thing, but the francese has a little bit more lemony zest to it. What you do is you get your veal. Are you listening, everybody?
I'm listening.
Am I going too fast for the lady that just came out of the bathroom? All right. Get your veal and you dip it ever so gently in your flour. Then you get your veal out of the flour. Then you dip it in a beaten egg.
Yes.
Now the reason for that, everybody, is because the flour holds the egg on the veal. And then you fry the veal. Do not shake it. Do not shake the pan, because if you do, you're going to shake the egg right off the veal. It's like making an omelet. And then you flip it, and very so gently, as you're saying the Hail Mary, you take it out, okay, of the pan, put it on the side, and you have your sauce separately, and then you pour that over the veal, which is absolutely terrific. And you can use capers. I happen to like capers. I love capers. Now remember, that's optional. You don't have to use it, but that would be very, very simple. And remember, if you go to leonettimarketing@gmail.com, that's leonettimarketing@gmail.com, the recipes that I say each day, I'll be more than happy to send you that. And also, Sandy and I are in the market of doing another cookbook. The first cookbook I the first book that I wrote was called Don't Dirty the Stove. This one's called Don't Dirty the Kitchen.
That's right.
and it's going to be a magnificent
Because let me tell you, when Chef Michael is in the kitchen,
you need a
we need a
demolition
cleanup
team.
crew.
A demolition team. She looks on the ceiling. She said, how the hell did you get a linguine stuck on the ceiling? I don't know.
I said, what's going on here? I just cleaned this morning.
I have a cleanup crew at my house. He's called Ron. It's my husband. I cook for him. He cleans for me. It's just the perfect marriage.
Really?
Yeah.
How exciting. I got the chills.
Yeah.
Listen, I got to say something. There was a friend of mine, and forgive me, I forgot his name. Me and John Stewart and I, and Sandy Kastel, who's the love of my life. It's no secret. We went to go see T-Fox.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you, T-Fox. This kid put a hurting.
Oh my gosh.
That kid's he's my kind of. He's like you, my kind of performer.
He's my friend.
Yeah. T-Fox put a hurting on everybody because he went out there. He reminded me of what Sammy Davis was. There's only a handful of performers. There's a billion singers in Las Vegas. I can count the performers on one hand. There's a lot of great singers out there, but not that many people that are performers. And T-Fox did a great job out there. And a friend of mine came up to me and he says, "Mike, Lee and Eddie, how are you?" And I looked, it was a black guy. I haven't seen him in 39 years. I said, how the hell did this guy remember me? I lost my hair. You know, I used to be very handsome. I'm still handsome, but I'm an elderly gentleman that's distinguished.
I think you're perfect.
Thank you, John. And that's it. There's my aunts and uncles. And Tim said I looked mobbish today. Was that what you said? Gangsterish? Because kind of my blue pinstripe suit.
What about yesterday? He was wearing that black suit with a red, tie.
So what happened was, this guy would come to my apartment that I lived on, okay, right next to Sierra Vista, and I used to make chicken necks. All right, and you can't even get them anymore. They're next to the chickens. They used to have them, and I would fry them in oil and garlic, and I would add bell pepper and onion. And this guy would suck his fingers. He would go out of it. He said, "Mike, how the heck did you make them?" He said, "Are you sure you're not black?" I said, "Well, I'm half black and half Italian." He just loved the way I made that. You know, it's like having neck bones.
I never had either, but that's okay.
What's that?
But I know what I have had. I've had spaghetti and meatballs.
Uh-oh, watch it now.
I'm down to the basics.
Easy, baby.
I'm down to the basics.
Well, you know what? We are going to be right back after a message from our sponsor, and we're going to find out more about how to fix those meatballs also.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking. Call 731-1230.
That's right. And this is Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. If you're just tuning in, we've got Gene Anderson with Shampoo Poo.
Yeah, baby.
We've got Leslie Rogers, the Public Relations Officer for Salvation Army.
Good morning.
Yay. And we've got John Stewart from Legends in Concert. And we've got Chef Michael. So we'll be right back with a message from our sponsor.
Great. I'm a personal friend of John Stewart. Did you know that?
Me, as I am as well.
See that? I'm feeling. I want to be in the middle. Come on, closer.
Don't fight over. Don't fight over. Don't fight
They
over.
got the Italian music.
The answer machine didn't even come on, did it? For you. No.
Good morning and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. You know what? We're reaching out to Don Usherson this morning. Don Usherson, where are you? Johnny Stewart, Chef Michael, and Sandy Kastel want to know where you are.
He's eating bagels. I got the bagels here. I even bought bagels for you, Don. Jesus, God, it cost me $9.
You were just listening to, that was you, right, Gene?
Unfortunately, I'll take the blame.
Yeah, baby.
That was beautiful.
You know,
That was
Gene
good.
Anderson, you know, you've got this shampoo poo that you brought. You brought this big bottle here, and let me hold it up for the camera. There we are. That's right. Is that in the camera there?
Ain't that beautiful?
Good. Now, tell us all about this and how this came to be.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I stole it.
Oh, you stole it.
On the contrary, I came up with an idea some time ago. In being with the band, I'm with a group called George Clinton Parliament Funkadelic P-Funk All-Stars. And we're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. And I've been in this band now 19, going on 20 years. And George and I have been friends for, I refuse to say how long because I keep admitting that I'm 16 years old for the 16th time. So I won't say that. But however, and we was trying to brand different things, and everybody got all the tennis shoes. Everybody got all the blue jeans. Everybody got all the caps and the snaps and the buttons and the whistles. So I said, well, I got to come up with something. And a friend of mine named Charles Hayes, he's a very prolific saxophonist. And he was approached by some people to give him a wine with his name on it,
Right.
in order for him to sell at his gigs.
Sure.
And he asked me, he said, Gene, would you like to have a wine? I said, no, man, I'm better than wine. I'm champagne. So he said, well, would you like to do that? I said, well, I'll think about it. Then one day I had a vision where I could sell the champagne or put it in my act called The Night of the Shampoo Poo. I said, So I went and we went through a lot of changes and spent a lot of unnecessary money until we found out exactly how to go about this thing. And we came up with Gene Anderson, the sparkling wine of the stars.
All
And
right.
the slogan is, if you feel like a star, then drink like a star. Drink Gene Anderson's sparkling wine of the star, a.k.a. the Shampoo Poo. Now I got the name Shampoo Poo.
Yeah.
I am with, as you know, George Clinton, the Funkadelic, right?
Right.
And they call me Poo Poo Man. You know, we all got different names, Star Child, Dr.
That's
Funkenstein,
right.
blah,
That's
blah, blah.
right.
And I had champagne. So the first time that I was taking it out on tour, the guys were sneaking up on the bus and stealing the champagne, as musicians would do honorably.
Oh, no.
So anyway, they steal the champagne, and so I was complaining about it and shutting the bus down. They said, well, listen, come on, Shampoo, no, come on, Gene Anderson, give us some of that Shampoo Poo. That's what you talking about. So give us some of that Shampoo. Say, you Gene Anderson, they call you Poo Poo Man, and you got champagne. We just made it a chart and called it Shampoo Poo.
Well, I had some of that Shampoo Poo.
Hey.
Is that why
The
you were
last
walking
bottle?
kind of wobbly?
No, the last, man, I started doing the boogaloo. The minute I started.
Well, one thing about that
Boogaloo.
champagne, we tried to name it champagne, but you know, in being an American entity,
We can't do that.
We had to name it. The name that's associated with champagne is called sparkling wine.
That's
all
right.
it is all champagne that's made in America. If you're not from the French origin,
That's right.
you have to name it. You can't use the word champagne.
Even if it originally comes from that region, you know, if
Yeah.
it's over here in the United States, we cannot call it
you have
that.
to name
It
it.
is
You got to be a
sparkling,
citizen.
sparkling wine,
of
right?
France.
That's right. And also, you've got a picture here, a great picture of Joe Jackson, Mr.
Ah.
Lee and Son, and Gene Anderson.
Yeah, well-
so that's at Lee's Liquor.
Yeah, well, to be truthful, I could never get a distributor. The champagne was famous because I kept it on the social media and,
Uh-huh.
and everybody wanted it. And I met Mr. Hewitt Lee, the owner,
Right.
Kenny Lee's father,
Yes.
at Lee's convention.
Yeah.
And he just liked me, and we started talking. I told him about that. He said, stop by to see him. And I took him to champagne. They gave me my first opportunity to put it out on the market 3 years ago.
Isn't that wonderful? Well, let's give a
Yeah.
shout out to Lee's
right.
Discount Liquor.
Yay,
Yay!
Mr. Lee.
Did you know he has a new hit record right now?
Oh,
Tell
man.
him about it.
Gene Anderson?
Yes,
you have
man.
a new hit record?
Yeah, well, the one we just played was from my last album.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of like a little bit more subdued than the one that I have today. The one I have today is more associated with the P-Funk element, which is,
Oh, yeah.
you know, our song, our original
Oh,
hit
yeah.
record was We Want the Funk, Got to Have That Funk. Now, that's my original record.
Right.
But now this record is called, pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, Big Booty Girls in the House. Pump it on out. And guess what?
I can just imagine the video now.
Lady, you should see the slide video up on YouTube.
I bet. Where they can find that on YouTube under
They,
what?
they can
Gene
find out the
Anderson?
Gene Anderson, Poo Poo Man, Big Booty Girls in the House on the Shampoo Poo TV, or go up on iTunes and you can find it under Gene Poo Poo Man Anderson. Big Booty Girls in the House. And you know what? It sounds a little bit more risque than the actual content of the record. It's a real fun slide dance record, and it's about beautiful girls, but they're in the house.
Showing off their assets.
Let me say this: the views and opinions of our guests, we have nothing to do with this.
Well, to be truthful, he would like to have something to do with it because it's headed for $1 million songs.
Yeah, baby.
Well, that's so great. So everybody's got to go out and check out your videos and everything. Check out your website and find out more about that, so they can purchase
Well,
your
to be-
CD
to be-
and to purchase your.
To be truthful, Sandy,
Yes,
a secret,
a secret. Okay.
is my true hero because he's a guy under my own heart.
Who is? Who's your hero?
Chef.
Chef Michael.
Chef
Oh,
Michael.
yeah.
Chef Michael
Yeah,
is your
yeah.
hero.
That's my
Whoa.
hero. Hey, let me tell you
He's
something.
my hero
No,
also.
no, no,
Next
listen.
time we're making when he's making the spaghetti and meatballs, and we can be drinking some shampoo poo, right?
Hey.
Hi.
Now, why am I your
Yeah,
hero?
why is Chef Michael
we
your
want-
hero?
Because he's sharp like me.
He's sharp.
Every day you see me, I got on a new outfit because I can't stand cleaning fluid. I have to buy another one.
Well, Michael actually takes his clothes over to the dry cleaners.
Yes,
That's
and-
one of our sponsors.
Yeah,
Let me tell you
Royal
what I did.
Cleaners.
I-
Get a U-Haul truck because he got that many
That's
suits.
right. He's got that.
That's
many.
true. That's true. I saw his closet.
You saw his closet.
Closets.
Well, it's
Closet.
one big closet.
No, don't, folks. I'm a very humble man. I'm a
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's
Very
so
humble.
humble. He's so humble. He got sideboards on the mirror.
Sideboards on the mirror. That's a good one.
That's a good one. I like that. I used to take my clothes to the cleaners, and it was costing me a fortune of money. So I just bought the joint. It was cheaper for me to buy the place than Tim is saying, Mike, you got that kind of bread? Well, if I didn't eat the bread, kid, I wouldn't be here. Trust me, I'm telling you.
How come you never take my clothes to the cleaners?
What's that? Because it costs me too much money, honey.
Yeah. Well, listen, Chef Michael,
Well-
I know. I want to hear about, you were talking about the recipe earlier for the veal franchise, and I love that.
Right.
I love that.
Sally
But,
Jesse
You
Raphael.
know, we've got Leslie Rogers sitting here, and you guys
God
were
bless.
talking about, and what is your favorite? You said you love the veal, right?
Veal
I do
franchise.
love veal.
The veal franchise.
probably.
What else is your favorite? What else?
For Italian?
Yeah, for
Well, let's just
Italian.
go right to the good stuff.
Okay.
Cannoli.
Oh, but he doesn't bake.
I don't bake. You did
do
amazing.
anything
I
baking,
don't.
sorry.
We don't bake.
And I don't either. No.
Yeah.
We don't bake.
Cannoli, spumoni. I'm kind of a dessert girl. And I love just a great antipasto.
Oh, he showed me how to make one. In
It's
fact,
really
he put
easy.
me to work.
It is.
making
You
one.
just
Yeah,
take
it's-
all that charcuterie and lay it out on the plate.
Charcuterie. How do you like that, Johnny?
With
How do
all
you
the
spell that?
That's a
veggies and all
75
that.
center.
It was good, wasn't it?
Charcuterie.
I had it for breakfast.
Yeah.
Charcuterie?
Cheese
Yes.
and cheese and
Her-
sliced sausage and hams.
Well, you
and-
know some Sal. I mean, I can't.
Sal.
Sal Jesse Raphael. That's what she
She
looks
thinks
like.
I look like because of my red
No, I'm
glasses.
teasing you. She, I can't eat that anymore like I used to. You know, when you become 62 years old. I mean, when I was a kid, I
It's a
could have.
tie.
Oh, yeah, so they just made get out. So I could
I'm
bite.
cuter.
Yes, you are. You're a very beautiful girl, but I got a dimple in my chin. It cost me $4,500 for that. John said, "Really?" I used to bite a wall on the way out, need a hindquarter. These days are gone. I cannot do that anymore, and I have to be very careful of the stuff that I eat. You know, so all the cooking that I do, and the pleasure is cooking for my guests, which is absolutely fantastic.
But when you put together the
Yes.
antipasto, you can basically put anything you want in
Right.
there. You know, you have the cheeses, you have the olives, you have the pepperoncinis. I mean, I've seen
Well,
you put it together. And
right.
then you put the cold cuts. So you can mix up the different cold cuts you put in there.
What you have
You
to
just
do-
can't overdo it.
Overdo it. Well, you have to go with soprasad,
Ah,
which is then you have Genoa salami. Now, Boar's Head is at Smith Food King. They got the best lunch meat you have
Yeah.
ever
They
tasted
have a
in your
whole
entire
counter
life.
for that, yes.
Entire life. Anyway, guess what? I
We
was
have a
I was hurt
caller.
for a while. I didn't hear from anybody. They said,
Well, you've
"Well,
got one now.
Thank you. Who's on the phone?
Gordon.
Who?
Gordon.
Hey,
Hi,
Gordon. Hiya, boy. How are you, pal?
Okay, I was just wanting to know a good recipe for linguine and clam sauce.
Ah.
I got down, it's just the clams and getting it just right.
Okay, listen to me carefully. It's the simplest, easiest dish in the world to make. We had Sally Kellerman over to the house for dinner at the WEMA event, Sandy and I actually waited till she came to make it. It takes 5 minutes to make it. You saute your oil and garlic. You follow me? Once the oil,
Whole fresh garlic.
fresh garlic. Get about eight, nine cloves. Crush it. Don't cut it. Crush it with a knife. Then you fry it. Once it turns golden brown, then add butter. The minute you add butter to the oil, it stops the cooking of the garlic. And then you go to Smith Food King, naturally, go down to aisle 2, right near in the front, and this is for 4 people. Get 4 cans of the chopped clams. Get yourself a can of clam juice. Then get parsley, pepper, salt, black pepper, simple. Be careful with the salt, because remember the clams got salt in them. And then get fresh lemon, 1 whole fresh lemon, squeeze it in there, a little bit of sherry wine, and here's the key. You got to get Wondra. Wondra. It's a flour base, and you tighten it up, because if you just make the linguine white clam sauce without the Wondra, when you're picking up that pasta, it'll roll right off the macaroni. You don't want that. What the flour does, it tightens it up and makes it like almost like a gravy. And it's not too heavy. You got to be careful in your balance. But I'm telling you something, it comes out magnificent. It takes 5 minutes to make linguine white clam sauce. Then you can go to the Chinese market, get yourself a couple dozen of clams on a half shell, you know what I mean, the big little cherry stones, and you fry them with oil and garlic with a lid. The minute those clams open up, take them the hell out of the pan. Because if you keep steaming them, they'll be like chewing on a rubber band. And that clam will melt in your mouth. And as a garnish, you pour everything in a nice, beautiful tray, and then you pour your sauce on top of the linguine, put the clams around it, sit down with a glass of wine, and enjoy it. And for calling in, Give our engineer your information, and you're going to get 2 comp show tickets. We got Rock Vault. We got some phenomenal shows. Let me tell you something. These shows start at $80 to $100 a ticket. So we're giving you a comp. This is compliments, okay, of us at KLAV, and we're going to get. So thank you so much for calling. Call me anytime. I want to turn it over to Sandy Kastel right now because we're going to go to a break, and she has to have the last word, or I'll never hear it when I get home.
Hi, if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. And thank you, Gordon, for calling in and asking about the linguine and clams. And I'm going to say, Chef Michael, I think that must be one of the most requested recipe that you've been asked about in the last 4 weeks.
Right,
I mean,
that and my
loves
grandmother's meatballs.
The clams, yeah, the linguine and clams.
And they got to go to
Yeah.
YouTube and put in Shopping at Smith's.
That's right.
We just did a TV show.
And he made it on there.
And
yeah.
I made
That's right.
5 different dishes with salt,
That's right.
pepper, parsley, garlic.
So we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
Keep calling, everybody. I love you.
702-731-1230.
I still love you.
Hey, that
And then
one
come
girl,
back in with another
that
one of his
girl,
songs.
I went to school with her, didn't I?
Yeah.
Quiet. What? My phone number?
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. We are rocking out here with the Big Booty Girls. Hey, yeah. Well, it's the name of the song. I mean, I'm sorry.
Hey,
but,
it's true, but guess what? You gotta hump it, bump it, pump it on out. Big booty girls. Isn't it?
Easy and greasing, coughing and pleasing.
Listen, I just want to say, you know, you were Gene. You were at our event that we did at the end of March. Was it the end of March? Yeah, with Jolie, and Jolie is absolutely the most amazing new artist to hit Las Vegas. He's from Yugoslavia. He was in New York for several years. He was in several different galleries there, and he and his wife Pirko moved here to retire. And then after he kept getting under her feet too many times, you know, she said, all right, honey, you need to get back and start painting again. And he did. He started painting again. He has these beautiful, huge paintings. And we did a big art event for him over at Artistic Lifestyles.
Fantastic.
And you came and joined us there.
I had the most fantastic
Yeah.
time. You know, I had to appreciate art from being instructed. Because understanding exactly what you see sometimes is so many different variations of what you thought you saw. You have to be told specifically what this is.
And you know what? He does not, Jolie does not name his paintings, and for a very good reason. He says, I do not want to influence the person who's looking at the art. I want them to see what they see.
Right.
And that's the true, you know,
And
true
he's
artist,
the only
yes.
guy that paints by number. And I never seen him. This was amazing.
And you can't tell it.
The one thing I liked about it is that for each painting, you could trade it in and buy a house.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, you
they
know,
just
it's funny.
started $30,000.
Right.
What can I say?
60 grand. I saw when I say, I'll take this little small painting. Could I have it today and take it home? He said, the painting costs $60,000. I said, well, I'll trade the house for the painting. I'll sleep on the painting.
Well, you know, it's amazing. We're so pleased to say that we're going to display his paintings in our home,
That's right.
and that's going to be fantastic. Because we have an estate, and his paintings. We
It's
have
just
high,
a house. It's just a house.
Yeah, it's a studio apartment. Don't crack me up, honey.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
10,000
the
square
painting
feet.
is bigger than the studio apartment. Tell the truth.
That's true.
right, that's
we
right.
have before we get to the Salvation later, because let me tell you something. I love this woman, and because I shop there all the time. We have a caller. I'm going to get that out of the way. Who we have here? Hi, Steve.
Hey, Michael and Sandy and your guests. How you doing today?
All
Good,
right,
how are
buddy.
you, Steve?
Two reasons I called. You guys unfortunately sent me the wrong tickets. I would have beat, but thank you anyway. Beatles tickets. But here's the news. I want to buy it.
No. That's not true. You called in twice, Steve. Don't forget. The first time you called in, I sent you those tickets for the first time you called in, and now the second one should be on your way.
We got you covered, Big Steve. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. I want to buy a ticket to go to Michael's dinner. When can I buy a ticket?
Oh, we're going to have the next
the
event.
Wima dinner.
Yeah, the next event is going to be the third Saturday of June, right? Let's see
Saturday of June?
what day is
Okay.
that? All right, we got to get our phones out here and
Yeah, we're
everything.
getting
so we
ready
can
with
look
it, and-
at the and see what date that is, so we can promote it here. May. Let's see. We got to go to June. 1, 2, 3. It is the 26th. 21st.
21st.
I can't see.
Oh.
Okay, June the 21st.
Will you be
Okay.
making us meatballs and pasta?
June the
got
21st,
it.
he's going to be making all kinds of South Philadelphia recipes for our guests. So mark that on your calendars,
Right.
everybody.
Now, how do I buy a ticket?
The next
What do I do?
WEMA event, you just call me, 702-348-5707. And then I will give you the information about how to get your tickets.
And we got
okay?
Johnny Potash. Am I saying this correct?
That's
Potash.
right, Johnny Potash.
Johnny Potash. He's going to entertain. Great.
That's right.
He's a
He's
Charlie.
the world's great, yeah.
World's
Charlie
greatest
Daniels
violinist.
and violinist.
And I'm going to tell you something.
master
It all
violinist.
includes open bar also as well.
Yeah.
And like I said, all the money goes to charity.
That's right.
You know, naturally you're screened because you're going through, you know, the estate. But the bottom line is you will have a ball. And I'm going all Italian. We love you, Steve. We always thank you for calling because you listen. Go ahead, buddy.
One for you, a quick one. My son was going to marry this girl. I said, she's bad news. She's been around. He goes, how bad is she? I said, how bad is she? She's got more fingerprints on her butt than the FBI has on file in Washington.
Oh my God in heaven.
Big
Okay,
booty
all
girls
right,
in
all
the
right.
house.
Hey, I can't believe you would
Bye,
talk about my
Steve.
sister
Thank
like
you,
that.
Steve. Bye.
Thank you, Steve. We
Thanks
love you,
for calling
buddy.
in.
All right. Now we're going to turn it over
To
to
Leslie Rogers.
Yay!
I have to follow the butt joke.
That's right.
Oh, way to go.
In the house.
That's because you can handle it.
That's
Because
right.
that's right. That's right.
I am a highly trained professional.
And you are, and you're a strong woman,
And the
independent
views
woman.
and
I can
opinions
tell.
of this our guest.
and Leslie, tell me a little bit about how you got involved with the Salvation Army to begin with.
Well, this is a great story. My husband actually is an ordained minister.
Okay.
And he was hired in January of 1997 to be the part-time chaplain for homeless for the Salvation Army.
Aha.
That was 17 and a half years ago.
Oh my gosh.
He is still the chaplain for homeless for the
Oh,
Salvation
that's
Army.
great. That's great.
But it stopped being part-time about 3 months in.
Full
So
time. Yeah.
he is full-time. So I've been volunteering alongside him at the homeless shelter and at our rehabilitation center for 17 years. And then about 2.5, almost 3 years ago, I was invited to, and I've also done Christmas and things like that as a volunteer. About 2.5, 3 years ago, I was invited to oversee Christmas kettles for the Las Vegas Corps, you know, where you go to at Christmas time and you see the red kettles out front of Walmart and Smith's. And
Yay.
Smith's is actually, by the way, our top 3 stores in this valley.
Yay!
In fact, probably our top 8 stores, but in the Las Vegas Citadels area, the Smiths are always 1, 2, and 3.
They're wonderful.
They're fabulous, and they're great to us. So I was hired to be the kettle coordinator, and I said I don't like that title. So I called myself the Bucket Babe.
Oh, there you go.
I thought that was more
Hey, Les,
catchy.
can I ask you a
That's a
question?
You
BB
may.
word too.
It's been on my mind for the past few years. Why did they stop the kettle people dressing like Santa Claus? They stopped it.
I don't know if they ever did that here.
Because
But
I
they've done
haven't
it in
seen-
other places,
I
and-
haven't seen
Probably because we
anybody.
didn't have any snow or something
No,
in
and
the winter.
what we do here is we have to, in order to recognize them, we have to have badges on them, and here we use aprons,
Right.
Salvation Army aprons, but they can wear Santa hats, they can wear crazy, I've got one guy that wears a hat that looks like a chimney with Santa's legs sticking out of it, kicking. I've got another one that wears a hat with, it looks like a hunter's hat with the flaps, and then it's got antlers that are decorated with little Christmas lights that light
Wow.
up, you know.
Well, let
So
me-
we
You know
do
what-
that.
You know what's
but-
amazing though?
and it's
is-
too hot, quite frankly. Well, not in the winter. It's fine. They could wear. I mean, we don't tell them they can't. They just have to put an apron over their
I'm
Santa
sorry, I
suit.
just was curious. and Salvation Army, one thing about Salvation Army, you guys are great because what you people do, you know, and everybody that's listening out there, please, if you find anything in your closets, lamps, these people actually come over there and they pick the stuff up.
Pick it all up.
You know, don't throw it in the trash.
Well,
'Cause
not only that, Michael, they have all these programs that
Oh,
they
my
do.
God.
You know,
we have
had
about 20 programs in the valley. We
Yeah.
have after-school programs for children. We have a food pantry. Just let me throw out a really quick statistic for you.
Okay.
In 2012, our food pantry provided food for about 15,000 individuals and families. In 2013, 40,000.
Oh my
So
gosh.
2.5 times the number. So the increase is just ridiculous, but our income stays the same or has
Wow.
fallen off.
Well, that's
So
because you're putting it back out.
that's all we
and,
do.
And you're taking in these, you know, you take on in all
Whatever we
these things. You
get.
go and pick things up, and the thing of it is folks, you know, I mean, we all have a lot of things in our cupboards, in our closets, in our garages, in storage units that we're saving, and a lot of these things are like brand new, and we put them in the closet or we put them in the storage, thinking, well, we're going to use this again. Someday I'm going to use this again, and then what happens? 10 or 20 years goes by, and you don't use it again.
Right. And all the things that are donated to our thrift stores, that all supports our rehabilitation program for people with drug, alcohol, and gambling addictions.
Right.
Well, you know, I
Here in the
told
Valley.
Sandy if anything ever happens to me,
That's where
seriously.
you're going.
No, seriously.
That's where he's going.
No, if anything ever happens to me, God forbid, and when my time is up, I said, Sandy, every stitch of clothing, and I got some, John will tell you, I've been very blessed to be a very chic dresser. I says, shoes,
Everything
cufflinks,
goes.
everything gives to the Salvation
Right.
Army. Make sure, and then you'll get top dollar because, you know, I'm a celebrity and people want to pay me.
Exactly.
So I'm up to 50 cents.
Now, Gene, you've been raising your hand
Right.
on here. What did you want to say?
Well, I myself personally, I've been affiliated with Salvation Army for several years from out of Los Angeles when I was living in Hollywood. I had a friend by the name of Ed Townsend, who was the writer of the song from Marvin Gaye,
Yeah.
Let's Get It On, and he
Right.
did the song For Your Love.
Right.
He wrote that song and it was his record. But however, somewhere down the line, he got derailed and got on drugs. And the Salvation Army, we took him, he just insisted upon it through the guy who played Captain Dobie on Starsky and Hutch, Bernie. I can't think of his last name, but anyway, they took him to the Salvation Army. Salvation Army rehabilitated him,
Right.
got him off drugs. Ed became more back into his actual, the pitch was back in the water as a star entertainer.
Oh my gosh.
He started a play. We did a tour, a national tour of Salvation Armies doing a play called Been There, Done That. and the key was that it's not he who falls that fails. It's he who falls and fails to rise again.
There
That
you
was
go.
our play. And we took it across the whole United States, sponsored by and in behalf of the Salvation Army. So it's a
Fabulous.
great
Isn't that
organization.
great?
That's a wonderful story, and we're going to tell more of those stories when we get back after a message from our sponsors. If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael, Monday through Friday here on KLAV.
I still
We'll
love
be
you,
right back.
everybody. I love you. You can call me. Call me. Don't be afraid, but just call me.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael, Monday through Friday on KLAV. We have a wonderful group here in the studio today. We've got Gene Anderson with Champoo Poo. We've got Leslie Rogers, Public Relations Officer of Salvation Army, and of course John Stewart of Legends in Concert, and Chef Michael.
You know, yay, there's my cousins again. Antonio Wendolini, Aunt Teresa, Antoinette. I'm so pleased to say that we're honored that the Salvation Army yesterday allowed us, Sandy Kastel and Friends with Chef Michael, to put our posters in all of the 7 stores through Colonel Strickland without fail. As long as we're here through God's grace, we will mention Salvation Army and we will tell everybody, go into your closet, we take forks, spoons, coffee pots, stuff that, it's amazing.
Michael, you know what else we take?
What?
Cash.
Oh, really?
I will tell you that we have 18 or 20 programs, and they don't happen
Unless
without
you have.
financial support.
Yes.
Right.
So we do that as well. I mean, the stores are fantastic, and as I said, they support the rehab program, which is such a vital piece of what the Salvation Army does all over the country. Did you know we're in 126 countries
Oh my God.
It's
around
amazing.
the world?
I
Well, you know, when we went on break, I said to Sandy and I looked at John, I says, you know, we need to do something for these people, like a show. John says, great.
Gene
And
said great. We all said great.
And I think it would be, figure $15 a ticket. All the proceeds go to, you know, the Salvation Army. And John and I and Sandy would put a show on that will knock your socks upside down, inside out. It would, and here's the best part. We can do that, and they can also, we can have like a bin where people can actually bring something.
Stuff.
And there's hotels
And we'll have a kettle, and they can
right,
put money
right,
in it.
and
There you
and,
go.
and
Or a
John-
bucket.
And through John's grace, because John has all the juice with David Sachs, we can grab an afternoon show. We
I
can
didn't
just,
say that, David.
no, I said it, Dave. And don't give me no stuff, because I'll buy that place and turn it into a pizzeria. No, I'm only teasing him. I love
Funny.
David Sachs. I never met David Sachs.
You haven't?
he's
Well,
a
I'm going to
wonderful,
get him on the show.
wonderful guy.
Are you
Yes,
really?
Absolutely. He's a great buddy of mine.
That's good.
Well, you know what? Leslie and I were just talking about all the great things that they just had on last week. That was the Salvation Week.
Last week was National Salvation Army Week, which
Yeah.
is an opportunity across the country
that honors.
that honors Salvation Army. It was actually
And all the employees and
instituted
things, yes.
by President Eisenhower in
Oh my gosh.
1954.
Yeah.
So this was the 70th annual,
Yeah.
or 60th annual, excuse me, Salvation Army Week. It's the second full week in May. And really what it is an opportunity for the Salvation Army just to let people know what we do and how we do it and for whom. But it's also a fabulous opportunity for us as the Salvation Army to thank all the people that volunteer
Yes,
with us.
because you have a lot of volunteers.
Nothing
Yeah.
happens with the Salvation Army without volunteers.
Right. And also your women's auxiliary.
Our women's auxiliary
amazing.
is probably about 160 members, I think, right now, 160 or 170. And those ladies do some amazing things. They have a rummage sale every year. They have a vendor expo, which is coming up in September. They're going to have a craft fair and sale in November. But they have 2 very large luncheons. And the main one, their 49th annual nearly new fashion show and sale and luncheon was held this past Saturday at the Orleans, and they probably raised about $10,000 there, 8 or 10,000. So that was pretty exciting.
That's great.
And all of the clothing there is donated, including some things from Camille Cosby, Bill Cosby's wife. She's for this is either the 2nd or 3rd year that she's sent donations to us, shoes, clothes, purses, and they were modeled and they were sold, and it was really fun.
That's great.
And
well, I just want to say also that we have found some fabulous bowls over there for the pastas and
Yes.
for the meatballs. And
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
you shop in the
linguine
stores.
And, oh, yes. Yeah. And so you can really find some wonderful gifts over there.
Yeah, you know who told me about this years ago was Robert Goulet.
Robert
Oh,
Goulet.
yeah.
Bobby had a beautiful. I said, Bob, that's of course. Where'd you get? I got that from the
Salvation
Salvation
Army.
Army. I started laughing. Now get out. He said, Mike, it's not the clothes, it's who's in them that counts.
That's right.
I picked up a cashmere sweater, and that's just a little bit more money now, but it was about a couple years ago. It was 25 cents. I get more compliments, and when people say, "Where'd you get that at, Mike?" I said, "Salvation Army." They look at me like I'm nuts.
Yeah.
You know, just
Well,
because people got a few dollars, that doesn't mean. I always look for those deals. I love garage sales. I will, if I see a
drives
box,
around
I'm
on
stopping
Saturday
him,
and Sunday.
and I love that stuff. You know what I mean?
Well-
and I thank the Lord for the blessings that He has given me. You know what I mean? And remember, you got to give back to the system, ladies and gentlemen. You
What
got
I
to
was-
give back.
And what I was going to share in our stores, at least 3 of our stores, the one on Stephanie, the one on Durango,
Yeah.
and the one on Charleston, have what we call our boutiques. So the
Yes.
higher end stuff is in there still
Right.
for ridiculous prices.
Well, I want to thank you, Leslie, again for coming out to be on Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. We will have you back again.
Good.
Okay, because, you know, I know we have to keep talking about this every so often, and I want to invite everybody to donate to Salvation Army. I also want to invite everybody to come out to see this show tonight, a showcase that Jon Stewart is putting on over at the Tuscany Hotel, right? And it's at 10:30, but you get there a little earlier because so you can get your tickets for it to see Ann Martinez.
Yeah, there's no tickets. It's free.
Oh, to get in.
It's free, and it's called BBR, which is Blonde Blonde Revolution Alice, and I'm not putting it on. I'm going to watch it because
Okay.
I've been invited. We've all been invited because I've heard it's such a great show. It starts at 11 o'clock. Get there around 10:30. It's free. It's in the T-Spot Lounge,
Okay.
Tuscany tonight.
So we got to go now, but this is Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show. We want to see you again tomorrow at 9 a.m. here on KLAV, 12:30 a.m. on your dial. Bye-bye, Las Vegas.
I love you, folks. Please
Shampoo.
call me more. Yeah, bone and bones.
Bye.